Jeremy Hunt's spring budget isn't the only big event in Westminster today, as thousands of striking workers, they're out in force yet again in the biggest walkout since the current wave of strikes began last year. We've got junior doctors, teachers, tube drivers, lecturers, civil servants, apparently journalists at the BBC as well, although, Anyway, they're all taking industrial action deliberately on budget day to call for massive public sector pay increases. Is the general strike that many have foretold? Is that happening? Anyway, with me now is Olivia Utley, GBNews political reporter, who is somewhere near the striking action. Good stuff. What's going on?
I am in Westminster, and just over there I can see the PCS, that's the public sector, the civil servants picket line. And yes, as you say, it's the biggest general strike that we've seen in a decade. It's all the same problems that we've heard about in all the previous strikes. These unions are pushing for big pay increases over and above inflation, and the government is essentially pushing back and saying that any sort of pay rises on that scale would be massively inflationary. And obviously Rishi Sunak's biggest goal in the next couple of years is to cut down inflation. Now, I've been speaking to a couple of teachers today who are now just getting very worried, particularly about the teachers' strikes, and their concern, they're not striking themselves, is that the NEU, the teaching union, just isn't getting around the table to talk to the government, whereas other unions are speaking to the government, the NEU isn't. And they're worried that teachers are going to actually miss out on any sort of deal which is agreed with the other sectors. But I think what we're seeing today is, for a long time we saw those unions claiming that they weren't working in collaboration with each other. They weren't trying to cause maximum possible chaos for political reasons. It was simply that their strikes happened to coincide. Well, now we're seeing a softening of that line from the unions. The unions are essentially admitting that, yes, there is some coordinated strike action here, which suggests it is getting very political indeed. Now, they won't be happy with what happened in the budget today. There was no mention of public sector pay, as we expected, but it will certainly come as a disappointment to some.